Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are super excited today. We have Don Johanson, who is the CEO and founder of Johanson Painting and Handyman Services, which has been in business for over 32 years. Winning the prestigious Best Picks Award 8 years in a row and over 35 years of experience, Don is an expert in commercial and residential painting and all the integral trades that coincide with painting projects, creating a seamless experience with his clients. Don, I want to welcome you to the show.
Hi, good morning, Marcus.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you to spend the time with our audience today. So let's just jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about your business and the types of clients you're helping.
Well, typically we deal with clients that are looking for a honest experience that fits the best project for their need. Part of our business style is not necessarily trying to sell particular projects or services, but to best inform the client what will and won't work as far as their needs and the end result and what they're looking for.
That's fantastic. So you're really about listening to the client and finding out really what they need versus just out there selling painting services.
Exactly right. And sometimes some of the folks, they think that they need something, and typically that's because they've been told by another contractor that this is what they need. And sometimes that's not the right choice to fit with what they're really looking for, or for longevity in the project, or whatever, time constraint, whatever their need may be. So it's more about trying to find a way to solve the client's problem and fit exactly the type of project that will work for their needs.
That's fantastic. I bet you they really appreciate that, and that probably has them coming back with more business and referrals because they probably like the honest approach, which unfortunately in this day and age isn't always that common.
Yeah. I find that being honest with folks, it creates a lot of confidence between us and our clients, and sometimes we even wind up telling clients things that they don't necessarily want to hear, but ultimately what would be best for their needs. And so connections that we do make are extremely good connections, and typically our clients stay with us for a long, long time.
Got it. That's excellent. So, Don, what led you into the field? What got you started doing this?
Well, actually, right out of high school, I went to college and I started doing painting. And what I really liked about it was there was always an end result. So you'd start off with something, and at the end, you had an end result. And typically, it was a client that was extremely happy how the project turned out, or how it had changed their environment, whether it be their office or their home, and it made it feel like theirs, whether it be a color, texture, style, whatever it may be. There was an end result, and that always made me feel good coming home from work. And not only I was happy because I improved and made somebody happy, but the client was happy. And it's just like a person that goes to work their job. And if their boss is ecstatic with the work that they've done, they feel great about themselves. And so really that's what got me into the field.
That's fantastic. So you've been doing this for a long, long time. That's that experience and that know-how, you just can't get that anywhere else. It's, being in the field, since you were in college and doing these things and helping clients get these end results and feeling good about it, that's a lot you bring to the table.
Yeah, and that's kind of a nice thing for me, is because I can understand, the craftsmen in the field and the clients as well, because I have been in the field and I have that experience where, as a lot of the business owners nowadays in the small types of businesses, particularly trades, don't necessarily understand, the problems that may arise on a job site. Point fingers in the wrong directions, and then that's what creates a bad attitude with workers or clients. And instead of doing it like that, we just, we try and problem solve it. And being that I had the experience, because I did work in the field for so many years, I understand a lot of things that can happen on a job and can change things. And I'm able to rectify it because I was there and I've done that. So, yeah.
So along the way, I talk to a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs, and there's always something or someone who inspires them along the way. Can you think of anyone or anything that's actually inspired you, that's helped you get to where you are today?
My grandfather was actually in the trades years ago, and when I was a kid, I used to go on jobs with him, and just it was always about working with my hands, and it was always about being busy and a hands-on type of experience. And I remember that as a kid. And he was always happy. He put down the tools, and he was an old school guy. He'd put down the tools and he'd go fishing and forget about it. And it just seemed like a happy guy. And I see a lot of folks, they go to work or they go to their jobs or their businesses, and they seem these environments run them into the ground. And I saw that he was always a happy-go-lucky guy. So I'm also a hands-on guy, and that's what kind of inspired me to get into the field.
That's amazing. It's funny you say that, because my grandfather was a big inspiration for me as well. And it sounds like your grandfather really lived the motto of life is meant to be lived. He worked hard and he played hard, and he enjoyed every moment of it. It wasn't like a lot of people, they work for Friday because they just can't stand what they're doing. He loved what he did, and when he was done, he went out and lived life. And you've kind of taken that same philosophy as well. That's very cool. Right.
The biggest part in our business that I really enjoy is we have really good people that work for us, and we have really, really good clients that work with us. And it seems like there's never problems. And if there is any type of situation, it's just one resolution away from being rectified. And so there's never any finger pointing. There's never any problems that go on and create any uncomfortable situations between our administrative staff and our workers or our clients. It seems like as a problem may or may not arise, we have it rectified almost immediately. So it seems like everybody stays really happy. As a matter of fact, I met with a couple of the guys that work for me today, and they said how they loved working for me. And the reason why is because our clients were so nice. It's because the projects were really well spelled out, and they knew exactly what they were going to need and what they were going to be doing. And it's just a real smooth experience for not only our clients, but our workers. And the more we can keep everybody happy and enjoying what they do, the better the jobs are that the guys actually complete. So, yeah, I really do like the fact that everybody seems to be happy and nobody finger points and nothing's really a problem. So I do enjoy being in this business and hope to be in it for a long time. And hopefully I can carry this business into a second generation. I can hand it off to my family.
Absolutely. I think I see a book title coming there. Happy Leader, Happy Workers, Happy Clients.
Yeah.
Having you tell your story. I love it. That's fun. That's great passion. I appreciate that. So and I know you've shared a lot of this already. So what really drives you and gives you your passion to get out of bed in the morning and helping the clients that you're helping?
Typically, a lot of our new clients that find us through happy clients and the wonderful things that they say about us and our company. And when you have these people and they're that happy with how they've been treated and how projects have met their time frames or how they've turned out. So it really, again, it goes back to the people appreciating us. It's I guess life's pretty simple if you look at it. It's really about appreciation. If you appreciate the people that work for you, they appreciate you. If you appreciate your clients, they appreciate you. And it just kind of goes hand in hand. And when I see the appreciation back from the clients, as far as, when they make comments or remarks, whether it be online or emails or phone calls or whatever, that's really what drives me, because it's not necessarily about the painting. It's about people being happy and their needs were met and they can move on with their life. It's not something that's going to be a struggle. It's going to be easy, and it's going to be, I always tell people, don't sweat the decorating. That part should be fun, okay? Whether you're remodeling, you're painting, it should be fun. Don't stress it out. If you have a problem with colors, come to us. We'll help you, or we can send you somewhere, or we can give you advice. but don't make it a stressful thing because it should be fun. And so I guess that pretty much sums it up for me.
I love it. That's great passion. And obviously your clients appreciate that and you helping them and that passion that you bring to the table. So what would you say, you said people sweat the small stuff. What would you say is one of the biggest problems you see clients having that when, someone that's trying to get their home or their business painted?
Well, what I see a lot of times is a lot of people, they collect a lot of stuff through time, whether it's a home or an office, and there's a lot of clutter and there's a lot of things, and whether or not they're important to them, they stress the fact that they have to put together some type of organization to empty the space. And what they do is they make a lot of these projects more stressful because they're more concerned about stuff and how it's going to impact their time and their life and everything else. And I tell folks, don't make it a big deal. We can move what we need to move. We can help you out with whatever it is. Don't make it a big deal. And most importantly, don't make it like a strict timeline. That's the best advice I can give to people when they're into the decorating is don't make it a strict time frame, because what you're doing is ultimately you're undermining the project by, speed it up, hurry, it's got to get done, and all that does is create stress. Put a realistic time frame together, pick out your colors, figure out the areas, whatever remodeling you want to do, and go step by step, and don't be in a rush. As soon as you got everything together, everything comes together so quickly, so there's no point in rushing the organization for the project. So if that makes any sense to you, Marcus.
Absolutely. Nice. That's great. Can you describe a situation that you had recently or that with a client that actually, was going through that and you really helped them to turn their thinking around on how they were so stressed out about their project?
Sure, absolutely. So, for instance, there was an elderly couple, and they were going to be moving. I don't know if they were moving into a downsizing or a condominium, or they were going into a nursing home or a healthcare facility. I'm not sure, but anyways, they had a home, and they needed to sell it, and they only needed a few pieces of their furniture, and they didn't need all their stuff, and they were just absolutely sweating it, and they didn't know how to go about it. And so they came to us, and we actually referred somebody that we work with that can, go in and help them with the move, declutter. They can have a estate sale. They can help them market the house, tell them how to decorate the house so it will sell easily. And it helped them with all of those things. And then they were able to to put it in perspective, they weren't able to, but somebody else was able to put it into perspective for them. And then it was a very simple, project. And we figured out what we needed to do to make their home saleable so they could move. And they had their move, they had their home ready for sale. And they didn't have to worry about moving and decluttering and selling or giving away, because what happens is our homes become a huge collection of stuff from our lives. And, when we get to the tail end of our lives, it's like, what do we do with all this stuff? And it gets really overwhelming for a lot of folks.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. You literally, not only did you create a seamless project for them with the painting, but you found services that actually help them to de-stress and make the project as smooth and sailing as possible. That's fantastic. I love it. So what would be the first thing that a listener should do if they're ready to improve their lives, whether it's painting their home, painting their office, painting their business? How would they get started with this process?
Well, I think the first thing is figure out exactly what they would like to do and how that would improve their life. And then secondly, I think that they should sit down and kind of try and figure out what type of budget do they have for it. And it's easier to formulate a project around a budget than a budget around a project, because what happens is things fall through the cracks, and then the budget's never really what the budget is. So if you put together a certain amount of money or time or whatever it may be for that project, then you work around that, because those are the known variables. And if they do that, then I think then they can call us up, and we can put together a good plan, whether it's remodeling, whether it's painting, put together a plan, kind of figure out what they want to do, whether they look through the web or they get some pictures from some magazines and come up with some colors and some ideas, and then figure out kind of where they're at with their budget, and then try and get together a project that really fits for them. And then I think they'll ultimately be happy, because a lot of times people, they don't put those together before they move forward with a project. And then it seems like, sometimes they don't wind up dealing with the contractor that they necessarily would have chose, because they have a different style of buying. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll get a couple prices, and then that's their budget. Well, if they didn't speak with the right people in the first place, their budget's going to be unrealistic. And so that's the problem. And the other problem is a lot of folks, a lot of contractors will they'll feel as though they can't sell a particular project. So because they feel as though they know what a person's budget is. So what they'll do is they'll sell them something less than what they need. And maybe that's not what the person was looking for, or the opposite. So I think it's good to have your own criteria down before you actually talk to folks and try and put together a project that's going to really make you happy and not be stressful. And at the end of the day, you're going to be really happy. And my theory on the whole thing is, if the client is happy and the workers are happy and me as the business owner is happy, it's a win-win-win. So we want to make sure that we give them the end result that they're looking for.
That's perfect. That's so perfect. So where can they find out more information about you? Your website, your phone number? How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah. Probably the best thing is on the website, and that would be www.johansonpainting.com, or you can give us a call and we can set up an appointment with one of our salespeople or myself, and we can come out and talk about what you're looking to do.
Awesome. And what's that best number for them to call?
That would be 847-577-6900.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Don. I really appreciate it. You gave a lot of golden nuggets and shared a lot with our listeners today. So I really appreciate you being on the show today.
Well, thank you very much, Marcus.
Oh, you're very welcome. You have a great day.
You as well. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. For this edition of the show, we'll see you next time on The Inside Track.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.